This episode of the Devinwade Show is brought to you by Ace the Engineer, the only other audio engineer I trust to mix the Devinwade Show. If you want your stuff to sound professional, make sure to hit up Ace the Engineer, unless he's with like Beyonce or Patti LaBelle or some shit like that at the moment. Follow Ace the Engineer on IG at Ace the Engineer.
Hey yo, it's amazing to me how these motherfuckers walk around here and act like Camden ain't motherfucking number one. Know what I mean? We've been reigning number one for the last 20 decades as the world's most dangerous city in the world. I got these cannons.
Niggas is killing in broad day. We in the trenches all day. We had to get it the hard way. I used to trap in the hallway. I'm sure y'all heard about Camden. Better believe all that shit that they told you. We from that part of the trenches. Now baby, see cameras never gon' show you. We come from that part of the trenches. They ain't showing on the TV screen. Mama working doubles, daddy ain't there. And these niggas wonder why we in the streets. Cause we gotta grow. Cause we gotta grow.
Came to nigga, I was bred different. When I'm in the field, I'm a known target. Taste in it, we got faith in it. When we make it, we all in a race with it. Either you stack or you starve. They know that he trapped the hardest. Seeing them trenches on the corner like a stop sign. Bitch, I'm outside when it's all attention. All they know is stacking the shoebox. Little nigga, big bag, he too hot. Used to have a deuce in his tube sock. Barely ate, nigga, stomach had 2 knots. Straight butter whip, coke in a crack pot. I go the hardest, I gotta get it. Fuck being famous, I want the richest. It's in my blood, little nigga, I'm different. Ain't losing the work, grab a blick and I'm blissing. If it's about the family, they know I'm a risk. Keep one in the head to put one in your biscuit. How I got my name, cause I really be tripping. Touch one of my all yours gonna be missing. Told me we run and stay true to the vision. They told down, he gon' stand on this pivot and he ain't gon' stop till he done with the mission.
Niggas is killing in broad day. We in the trenches all day. We had to get it the hard way. I used to trap in the hallway. I'm sure y'all heard about Camden. Better believe all that shit that they told you. We from that part of the trenches. Maybe see cameras never gon' show you.
Hey, what up, though? Welcome to another episode of the Devinwade Show. I am your DJ, Chelsea Lee, and I'm going to send you over to the host, DevNasty.
What up? I am your host of the Devinwade Show, DevNasty, a.k.a. Dangerous DevNasty, a.k.a. Choke Your Mom Out, a.k.a. Choke Your Pop Out. And we're back with another episode of the Devinwade Show, of course. Porter Rich, why are you over there?
Yeah, listen. Don't trip. Nobody trip. Chelsea had the shit. Healthy got the hits. Healthy is here. It's nothing. Y'all heard the new joint we just blasted off. It's crazy.
Okay.
Shout out to my CMD homie. Shout out to Bold Entertainment with that joint, man. It's fire. Checkmate. Go check that joint out. Y'all see we was vibing all crazy.
Yeah, so he was blasting off now. She downstairs blasting off.
That's
Listen,
wild.
People got the bubble guts around here. It's something going around.
Yeah,
I don't know
something
what's
going
going on.
Speaking of bubble guts.
They were co-defendant.
Relax. It must be a thing, you know. Last night, I went out to this bar. It's like a Mexican type of joint, you know, something chill. And I went with a friend of mine, which it was a guy. And we were chilling, eating tacos. I had me one
That's
margarita.
bad news.
Right. I had Brussels sprout tacos, and then I had regular shrimp tacos, right? Night went well. So he was actually leaving today. So he came over, stood over. We chilling, kicking it. He watching the game. I'm like getting myself situated, whatever. Long story short, like I'm in the bed, my stomach started. Like he want to cuddle and stuff, but my stomach, I'm like, I don't even want him near. I'm like, yo, like. So my stomach starts knotting up. And I'm like, damn. Like,
It was the Brussels sprouts.
I don't know what it was, okay? So I get up out the bed and I just go on my bath. Mind you, my bathroom's in my room. So I'm in the bathroom, actually.
Oh, man.
I'm hugging the toilet because I'm like, at this point, I know I'm going to throw up. Like, I'm just waiting for it to, like, it's like here. So I'm just sitting there and I finally start throwing up. Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even get back in the bed. So he, like, calls my name at, like, 2 a.m. I'm up all night. I'm sleeping on the couch because I had to throw up again. Then in the morning, I get up and he's like, yo, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So I go to the bathroom. I turn on the tub so he don't hear me. Yo, I was using the bathroom for like 10 minutes. I swear to God. I kept having it like courtesy plus courtesy plus courtesy plus.
It's disgusting.
Like, it is, but listen, whatever I ate was fucking disgusting.
No, it was healthy. No, what you ate was healthy, and no, you shit, and it was good. Don't get it fucked up. But
no, that's
we from
good.
the hood, and it's still disgusting. And y'all call niggas so disgusted, and I'm just glad that you sharing it with the world. That it's a fact that all women shit too.
Yeah, but this sounds like, bro. This sounds like
All
food
women
poisoning.
shit.
This sounds like food poisoning.
I think I had some type of food poisoning.
This don't sound. That don't sound healthy at all. That sounds like motherfucking
sure
food.
My body was legit rejecting whatever it was.
You sure they didn't give you double Brussels sprouts?
Nah, I was like, and I didn't even eat all those, but I ate like one taco.
Oh, so
Yo, it was
Well,
bad.
you do gotta be careful though, because.
But I had to be I felt embarrassed. Like he legit. I was like, did you sleep comfortable? Because I slept like a king last night.
no, because it's obviously very difficult for you to be sexy or feel like on your shit if you got your.
Nah, I slept on the couch.
Yeah, when she FaceTimed me this morning, it was like a weird face. It was
Yeah,
like
I wasn't.
It was like a hey, what's up? And then it was like, yeah, I mean, you know, Wiley, she gonna tell me, she like, yeah, I'm like, not right.
Her and Chelsea must have ate the same shit. Like, listen, I don't know, but you almost didn't get a show from her because she was just like, yo, guys, I'm not feeling well. I'm still going. I'm gonna slide through though.
I'm gonna make it work, y'all. I'm here for y'all.
Yeah, and that is the fashionista. The water park different though.
Yeah, water park is closed.
It's closed today.
It's closed just for like, a minute for cleanup. All amusement parks got to close so the maintenance can get handled.
Yeah, it's a lot of maintenance work going on right now.
But that is fashionista Waleska D. And also sitting Healthy P standing in for Chelsea Lee at the moment until she gets back up here.
The people be asking for healthy. Like it's like, listen, don't get it twisted. Like, Porter, we love Porter, but the people be like, yo, we want to see more healthy, and God just doing what he do right now.
And this is Pyrex Porter, aka Panama Reporter, aka the Sex Scene King, aka Thurman Street Pumper, DJ Healthy P Porter Rich.
Shout out to the people, man.
And it's crazy because Porter Rich, actually, people started trying to book him.
Yeah,
he came up here.
First night.
He had fake equipment. He didn't have like Chelsea. Like he has Chelsea's real equipment now. So
it's getting serious.
But last time you had the bullshits.
Huh?
You had the bullshit equipment.
That's history.
Yeah, you have foam. You have foam
equipment.
Yeah,
you have fucking styrofoam equipment,
right.
dog.
But we like to focus on the present and the future. And right there, you see what's going on here. Like somebody cut him.
Chelsea, come kick this nigga off this equipment.
For real.
Listen, so look, we're gonna talk about something, and I actually want to do this in a different order because of the story that you mentioned, and that was a wild and terrible social situation to be in.
Oh, yes.
So I want to talk today about social situations that you dread. Situations you just hate being in. And what's crazy is, it's funny, we just a shitty ass group of people today because I'm also like lactose intolerant and a lot of shit like that. And I can't eat like breakfast food and shit like that without like syrup and shit like that as a rat. And I love pancakes, but I dread being out somewhere where we gotta like eat like chocolate cake or something. Like people be like, nah, come on, man. Nah, I'm good. And I hate like when we go to amusement parks and shit like that. I already don't ride rides and shit like that. So I'm already kind of like a bag holder. But then on top of that, I'm going all day long. Now I gotta hit one of these porta potty joint. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of them situations. So I want to know, what social situations do y'all dread?
I think for me is when, and it's so, I have so many, but this one I dread a lot is like when somebody's like whooping their kid's ass. Like you're with your friend and she's like, sit your fucking ass down. And like y'all in a public place and you're like, okay.
Yo.
Like, you just don't know what to do. And like, it's just, you're letting them discipline their child. So it's not wrong, but it can be very embarrassing when you're just the person there.
Yo,
and it's just like, I feel embarrassed for them.
Nah, that's actually a good one because mine was another one of mine that you just reminded me of is, so my girl's sister, you know what I'm saying? She has kids, and back
Shout
in the day.
Shout out to Lily.
Yeah, y'all. So Lily's daughter, when she was little, the littlest one, if we went to a restaurant, this kid was going to act a fool in there, fucking crying about everything while like it could be a quiet restaurant.
Right.
She was going wild out. And I kind of knew like going, it's like as soon as you see that the kid is there, it's like, oh my God, she is going to embarrass us in here. She gonna be wild. So it would be either way. The kid acting up or if they was spanking them and gotta spank them right in there. Yeah, that's a
man. You be sitting there mad awkward. I'd be like, even when you're in the car, I could be in the car. Like my best friend, she's infamous for this. If she's like disciplining her child, and she won't be yelling at her, but sometimes she'll have to yell at her for her to, you know, stand her ground. And I'll just be in the car like,
yeah. Any of those type of situations is super bad. Like for me, mine is, it is like confrontation like that, but it's something different, and that's being around a couple while they're arguing.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, that could be bad because you could just, you know what I mean? Like,
it's the
like my man, I mean my man got into a fight and some shit like that because he decided to like try to like, I don't know, diffuse it or chime in or some shit. And got into a whole big brawl with the boyfriend. Yeah, it's like somebody arguing shit like on some in public shit like that.
That's because couples argue, and it's just like a normal thing. And until you really like, maybe if you witness it a bunch of times, you know this is just how they argue. So you be comfortable, cool with it. You might even laugh if you know this is them. But without knowing the dynamics of people's relationships, sometimes when you see like an argument, you be like, is he about to slap this girl? Like, what is going on? Like, they yelling, they bound to say anything, insult start flying. And whenever I'm around shit like that, I'm like beyond super like nervous and shit like that.
It's awkward too.
I hate, not to cut you off, Wally, I hate and dread like when I'm around like being a rap artist and like a local, you know, like musician when you're doing shit like that. I kind of, and it's crazy because I don't want to say it like, you know, you don't want to give people a shot and give people an opportunity. But I dread being in like those situations where you know you're getting introduced to like kind of like somebody and it's like dealing with like the music shit. And you know it's like an introduction for like that reason. You know what I mean? And you going to have it, you know what I'm saying? You going it's I don't know if you ever dealt with that as like an artist, but if you ever dealt with like being introduced to somebody, you know you're about to have to hear 10 raps. You're about to hear like
they're trying to make you conduct business.
Yeah, so I have like, that's something like my uncle or my dad would do, is tell somebody something like, oh, my son is Devinwade. Like, oh, he got a studio, he owns the facility, he could do that. Oh, he could do this for you. He know everybody. And next thing you know, people is calling me up like, Neff, you gotta hear this nigga rap. Yo, this boy could be a star. I gave him your number. He gonna call you up and telling you, y'all get together. It's gonna be this or that. And I've been put in those situations, or when I was little, it wouldn't be that exact thing. And I don't want to leave that. But you know how your parents will put you on a phone with a family member you don't know? Oh my
God.
It'd be like, this your uncle?
And you be like, oh, hey, what's up?
I deal with that now in person.
And Spanish people, you be like, bendición.
Yeah, I just seen like, you know, some, and don't get me wrong, it's love, but it's definitely like awkward when like kind of like, I guess cause we family, we gonna just be automatically Joe a little bit. We gonna be like super like, yo, but you really don't know each other still. So it
especially with like old heads and shit like that, because it you know, if you introduce it, be like, this your uncle on your, listen, man, I don't know, boy.
Right.
And then they on the phone telling old stories of like, boy, I changed your diapers back in the day. And the nigga, well, I don't remember that shit, nigga.
It's crazy because in the beginning, at first when you was first talking about, like when you mentioned the first shit, your first dreadful situation, I was thinking about, and I was kind of like confused as to like what y'all was saying, but I was thinking about, for me, I know, and it was a shitty story, going back to like the shitty stories that we started with, but I was thinking about, for me, I remember like, and I still would feel awkward in that situation, is like being in like swimming like public places and like having to like go to the like the bathroom. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
what?
I just feel like whenever you go somewhere like pools, beaches and shit like that, is what I'm saying, you need to make sure You handle all bathroom shit.
Right,
And all
right.
shit like that.
You're not trying to use the public bathroom.
Yeah, you're not just trying. For me, I dread that situation. I just hate when I'm in that situation and I gotta use the bathroom in the middle of, you know what I mean? You just got to the lake or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta go shit or some shit, and then you still gotta like go get back in the water. You know what I mean? And shit like that.
Yeah, me, like, so I at one point, I will say that I did, and I might have talked about this maybe on a sound only or something like that before. I had a situation that went from something super bad to something super good, if you want to call it that, and that was two women that were friends and started arguing, and I thought they was just friends arguing, but once they was arguing, things came out that was like, you know, personal business between them.
Right.
And I was in the back seat of the car because we was like on location shooting. So while they're arguing, one of them is just like, "And you ain't getting no pussy tonight, bitch."
Snapped out.
Crazy. So when I hear this, I'm in the back like, "Oh my God, where am I? I gotta get out of this car." And then we riding in pure silence. The radio is down low. It's just awkward as hell. I'm like looking out the window, just watching Philly go by, just watching everything go by. And then a song came on, I forget what it was. And one of them was like, "Oh, this my shit." And turned it up. And the other one was like, "Yeah, this my shit right here." And then they start talking back normal.
Nah, that's crazy.
But then they was on some extra, you know, like beyond shit and start talking about some freaky shit, and by the end of the joint, I ended up with a threesome with him, and it was dope. Like it somehow
that turned out to be a good situation.
Yeah. Somehow it turned into that. It turned into that from a wild argument.
That's probably why you was uncomfortable at first. It was probably about to go left, and you just didn't know it. It was like that awkward feeling.
They were preparing you for what's to.
Nah, I don't know. I think it might have been like, "Oh, the cat's out the bag. We already told him.
Yeah.
Now let him take part and shit like that."
You know what's
what I mean?
annoying sometimes though? What I don't like what people do in social settings, like this just happened not too long ago too. This was actually with your cousin Karan. Shout out to Karan, yo.
No, don't do my cousin dirty on
I
here.
love Karan, but like
Don't do this.
I ended up being at the Camden Arts Yard. I popped up there randomly. I'm just chilling, like kicking it. Here come Kay, you know, with his ideas. He's like, "Nah, you know, I was talking to Cuz, I was talking to Dad. Y'all got to do this, y'all got to do that." I'm just here minding my business, trying to have a drink. And then he introduced me, "Oh, this person does this." And then he starts talking about the podcast. And then they start talking about business. And I'm just like, I'm just here. I just got off of work. I'm just here to have a drink. Like, this is, and I was like, you know, this is exactly what I said. And he could tell you. I just let Dad deal with the logistics. I don't do the logistics part. I was like, I just show up. I come, I do the work here. This logistics that you going through with me right now, I'm not ready for it.
But that goes back, listen, Wally, that goes back to kind of like my dreadful situation, because it's like you don't want every like simple greeting sometimes when you just out and you meeting people or you meeting somebody new to turn into like a networking event.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what I was saying. I don't be want to sound like, because I know what it is to be like an up and coming person and trying to do something or whatever.
But this wasn't up and coming. Like Kay no. I'm like, you ain't gotta be talking to me. You need to be talking. This your cousin. You got his number. He actually called him the next day. But.
Yeah. No, but that also comes from, you know, he's involved in a lot of stuff. He's always pushing a lot of stuff, and people naturally, he's in work mode right now.
Yeah.
He's not in chill mode, so sometimes you could be off with who's on work mode, who's not. I wanted to get into something. This was something sent in, and I apologize. A fan sent us this question, and it was relating to a discussion that we had before that involved like stepfathers and everything, but then it went off that. And I wanted to get definitely Wally's opinion. How do you feel about if a man has a kid with a woman and then that don't work out and then she has a kid by somebody else? So now your son is in there in that household, and now he got a little brother that's a year under him. Him and his little brother do everything together. They closest brothers are going to be. They live in the same house.
Got it.
When you come to that home to visit and you're bearing gifts or whatever the case may be, the fan asked, does the person, because this person probably was going through this themselves, is it his responsibility, the man, to provide those things for both children?
Okay, so let me make sure that I have this all the way correctly. So she had a baby by someone else.
After they broke up.
Right.
So she's in a household with another man.
No. And it might not be no man in there. But that's a scenario. It might be no man in there.
So it's just her 2 kids, but each father is coming to bear gifts.
Maybe. I don't know what the other boy do. He didn't ask that. You know what I'm saying? But that does switch up the dynamic.
It
maybe
does.
If the other kid has an active father. Let's say he doesn't.
Okay.
Let's say his father's not active. So your son's in that house and he got a little brother with no active father. You know what I'm saying? And the person that sent this said, what are you supposed to do as the man that's going there you're coming there and now you got toys and games for your kid, but the other kid don't got.
I think, that's kind of hard, to put another man in position of another, man's child. But a man with a heart, a dad with a heart, would give that kid a toy as well. It might not be as much, but he might gift him, like, you know what? He got this. I'm gonna gift him this. That type of thing. A good friend of mine, he has 2 daughters, but they have a little brother, and they all call him dad, dad, dad. But the little boy calls him now dad, dad, because they see that his sisters call him dad, 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 right? But that's not even the issue. The issue is like, I want to go with you because he gets them, they're on, they have a whole program where he gets them every weekend, they have their situation and he wants to come. And he knows the dad ain't active. This is a scenario, the dad's not active. So sometimes he'll take the kid with him. He did that one time, or sometimes he'll, on Christmas, he'll give the kid something for Christmas. Or if he bought the girls some sneakers or something, he'll be like, you know what, let me give him some sneakers. Not all the time, but not that he feels obligated, but he just feels like they're all in the same household. Like, I'ma just look out. Like, I'm not buying him his day-to-day, but I'ma just look out.
That's interesting too, because when you dealing in situations where it's, custody, you might have rotating holidays. So that's wild, because if, let's say I got a kid, they're in that house, he got a little brother, he's in the house, nobody active. If I get my son this Christmas and I take him with me, now I'm separating him from his brother on Christmas, where I feel like the brothers should be having Christmas together. So that do get awkward when you think about what you should do.
It's a tough situation, I think, all over the board for me. And it depends on different scenarios, because it could go so many ways. First of all, you got to think about what a man in this situation in different scenarios even makes, where he works, what type of level he's on. Because
I don't think that matters though, because even with my friend, he wasn't making a lot of money. He was really trying to get, whatever he could, but whatever he was able to do, he kind of
I think that's dope. Listen, don't get me wrong, Wally. I hear you, and I think that's dope. That, if we, go ahead and do what you can. But I just know in a lot of real man situations, it just will be tough, and it could be situations where it could become a burden.
Right.
If you have that good heart and you are trying to do it, and you like, all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead. And you struggling yourself, trying to get yourself together. You're not with this woman, right? You're not with her, but you got a child by her. Then she moves forward. She has another child, and now somehow, some way, that father's not in that child's life, and you're still around taking care of your child. You're gonna see it, you notice it, all that type shit, and you might start trying to do it. Let's say you do it for a while, but it's actually becoming a burden on you. That could be a situation, you know what I mean? I just say, that's why I'm just saying it's not easy. You know what I mean? Because on some levels, for some of us, we might be fortunate enough to do it. It's crazy because I deal with that at my everyday job. I see, and shout to the stepdads out there, shout to the fathers that do step up and do things, but it's stepdads that gotta go pick up their kids from a household where they not with the mom, but of course the mom might have other children, and all these children might go to the same school or whatever, and the dad go give them all a ride. He said, go ahead, yeah, everybody get in. But when it come to financially, being able to just support and do, holidays, birthdays, every other day.
Well, hold on. In that case, he wouldn't be a stepdad.
He wouldn't be a stepdad.
He's not a stepdad then. He's not a stepdad. He's the dad. And then this other kid is just like that. So there's only a step kid if like me and your mom is together or something like that. It's so for example. So
this is not a stepdad. This is a dad that has a child with another woman, but it's not with her, but she has other kids.
So you might have a kid. So you might have a kid, bro. For real. You could have your son. He could have a best friend, and his best friend parents just don't got it like that. Mm-hmm. But your son want his best friend everywhere. So when you go into Six Flags, you taking him. When y'all go do you taking him. I mean, that's like a normal thing that I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is definitely a situation that will happen if that's like his blood brother, because we don't do half brothers. You feel what I'm saying? Black people, we don't do, that's my half brother, none of that type of shit. That's his brother. So at the end of the day, he's going to want to have, you taking one, we going to WWE. I'm going to take my son and leave his brother at the crib.
Right.
It's kind of hard, but like Richie said at the same time, maybe that man can't afford to be buying 3 tickets. When you little, if we talking about economics and being realistic, we're not talking about the baller world or everybody got money. We're talking about the general public of people. It's one thing when kids are little, he needed an action figure, you bought one for his brother. But when it's PlayStation 5,
they're gonna have to share that shit.
You can't.
Right. That's why I said you don't levels.
Yeah, it ain't even a sharing because like I'm buying this for my kid. I didn't necessarily. Yeah, this his.
And listen, sometimes, even the good-hearted guy, the good-hearted person, like, sometimes there's sayings like, when people tell you, hey, don't spread yourself too thin. You know what I mean? And don't be careful, be mindful of overextending yourself. These things are realistic things, and I'm just saying that in some scenarios, we have to keep that in mind that, this, because this man could be going through something real and we don't want to just, like make it seem like he's a fucked up person because he can't do something.
Right.
No, and I think what Dev was saying more of like a gifting aspect. Like if he's dropping on, not saying that he needs to go support, it's just more of like, hey, if I drop my daughter off a gift, maybe it might not be the same thing that he got his son or his daughter or whatever. It could be something else, but at least he brought him a little something just of acknowledgement of him. So we're not saying like you have to go and get them things, but it's just, showing a little acknowledgement like, hey, I just got you some candy for you, bro. Like, you good.
I would. Me personally, I would do what I can. If, if I'm coming to get my little man all the time and I see little man ain't got much and less fortunate and I'm just dropping, and I can, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I could see how some dudes, they might be in a situation where they feel like, man, for real, I'm trying to create a certain dynamic and a certain one-on-one relationship with their kid that they didn't opt to have, this other person involved in the memories that they trying to build. They're like, man, I want to go fishing with my son the way I went fishing with my dad. I understand he got a brother, but that really ain't, you know what I mean? That person might be like, I want to do something for him. I want to make sure he don't knock. I said, but that's not, he not going on the
and he's obligated to do that. Like he has every right to do that, you know?
So for the guy at home, I don't know if we helped you at all.
Hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard. You kind of gotta use your best judgment. Do what you feel comfortable doing. At the end of the day, like everybody have different circumstances and different scenarios. So you kind of gotta observe it and see what works for you.
No, and I know people like super close to me in those situations, and they literally have the other child is like it might as well be theirs. Like it's like that's one is with sisters, one with brothers. Like you would never know that's not both of his kids because it's like, damn, I'm trying to take my son for the summer. He don't want to be away from the brother that he live in his house. With two boys with their mom.
Especially,
right.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm
if
saying?
they close in age.
Yeah, they tight. They with their mom. You know what I mean? They a year or two apart.
Yep.
They in the crib with their mom. They tight brothers.
Yeah.
Now, when you go slide through there, you trying to take them for the whole summer or a couple weeks out the summer, separating them. that ain't, you know what I mean? That ain't the good look. And
I'm telling you, it's tough. It's a tough situation.
It is. But on a different note, I want to ask you guys something because
oh shit.
A friend of mine who we had a conversation probably like 2 weeks ago. This is actually his merch tee, but he was like, I heard you on a podcast say regular guy. He's like, I've heard you say it a few times. He was like, because, you separate regular guy and, I don't know if I use successful guy. I don't know what word I use, but he was like, you use the word regular guy. And he was like, there are regular guys that have, that aren't as flashy or this or that make a lot of money, know, and, he was basically saying he just doesn't like to be called the regular guy. Is that a thing? Is that so I'm curious.
They lucky I got the bombs working. They lucky I got the bomb code.
I was like, so you feel
so
away?
You see this nigga's a whack ass D. Where's Chelsea Lee, man?
Listen, man, Healthy ain't leave me. I mean, Chelsea ain't leave me with the bomb code cause she didn't listen. It just happened. She had the bubble gut. She had the shit. It was a shitty day for everybody. But back to this shit. Listen, your man. I'm on the same type time your man on for real.
Okay.
Like,
let's talk about it.
See, this is a difficult thing because I always will consider myself a regular guy. And usually when I say regular person, I mean like not what people call Hollywood. So when somebody reaches out to me or the other day I'm in the mall and I'll get stopped 3 times in the mall while I'm with my girl and my son. I'll say that a lot, like, I'm just a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? If a person does have some kind of business they trying to do, we got to exchange numbers or something. I'm not extra with it like crazy. It's like, dog, I'm just a regular guy.
Right.
So I don't necessarily equate that to the finances. I think that he's taking it as regular guys make a certain amount of money. Maybe is what he's trying to say.
That's what I think that he was trying to hint at. So I was trying to like dive deep. So I'm just wondering, like, do guys just not? So when women be like, no, I'm not trying to deal with an athlete. I just want a regular guy, and he feels like it has a bad stigma.
So regular guy means. So that's kind of weird now because now what that means is regular guy means not famous.
And that's hard. And that's hard because people can get famous and still be regular guys.
But when she's saying that her friend is saying, I don't want a basketball player, I don't want this, I just want a regular guy. What they usually mean is a dude that goes to work, makes his money, comes home, whatever, whether he got a nice amount of money or a whole lot. They look at him as a regular guy. They don't want a star, famous person, or even popular person, because a lot of times if I tell people I'm a regular guy, they'll say, no, you're not.
Right.
Because maybe in their mind, if a certain amount of people even know who you are, you're not regular anymore.
I think a lot of that comes from humility. I think that comes from people who they practice humbleness because, I just think when I think of like regular guys, like to me, you can do something that's like, and it's your job, it's your profession, that where you reach a certain celebratory status, a certain, notoriety. And to me, because I think I said this before and I might have mentioned it to Wally, I don't know, but to me, rappers like Kendrick Lamar is still like a regular guy to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like his lifestyle and how
J. Cole.
Even right, J. Cole even. Even with the fame and with their accomplishments, they still out here being regular guys. You know what I'm saying?
But a female
humble humans.
Yeah, they're humble, but females would still, they won't consider that a regular guy.
Oh, so hold on. So they're now see this
and
is making me.
But that's only because of the notoriety that came with their accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? But
the reason why I gotta disagree with that, Rich, real quick, only in our culture is it like that, because they might consider your talents and abilities not to be regular, so they don't consider you a regular guy. If they say, nah, Puerto Rich don't rap like a regular guy. Puerto Rich don't act, when I mean act like in a movie, He has a talent to act. That's not a regular guy. He don't perform like a regular guy. He doesn't command the respect of a regular guy where a whole bunch of people kind of fall in line and do what Richie tell them to do. So in their mind, they're like, that's not a regular guy. The regular guy can't put 20 people on you ASAP. That'll come see you in a aggressive manner. A regular guy doesn't even have low budget B movies where they humping women with their butt cheeks out. Scenes, you know what I'm saying? So maybe they're judging it off of that, because I go back to the culture thing. I've seen more with like white people. A dude could be a fucking what do you call that? Like a cover band artist. He's performing. If he performs good like a rock star, the girls in the club treat him like one. Like they don't even know him. He's not even famous. Right. Just the way he played the guitar up there, they like, I've literally heard these words, I'm fucking him tonight. If they never heard of you as a rapper, got the illest song in the world, they don't give a fuck in our culture.
That's just like right now, you know, the kind of like the stock shit, that whole like game and era. It's creating new millionaires every day, right? Right now, that shit is like at its all-time high with people like indulging and shit like that, right? And a lot of these guys, some of them, they gonna look like rappers. Some of them, that's just what they into. Shout out to them. No knocking nobody. Live your life however you want to live.
They get their bread, they gonna spend it a certain way.
God can only judge us. But then you gonna have some of them dudes, they gonna be quiet as shit, regular as shit. When they out in the club, guess what? They don't want to be noticed as the rich guy. I know for me, and it's a shame because I mean this from the bottom of my heart, with the shit that I do, with the talents that I've been given, because I've been doing like acting and shit like that, you know, stage plays and shit like that since elementary school. You know, I feel like these was just my God-given gifts, and they come with like people having the kind of like if whatever, something ever came out of it, you know, we couldn't keep shit under the rug, whatever. I just feel like it come with the fame and the notoriety where people gonna know who I am and know about shit. But for real, if I had a different type hustle like the ones I just mentioned before that, where I'm doing like I'm a stock expert or a real estate guru nigga, man, I would love to be able to be out and be off the radar and be worth super M's, right? And just be out chilling and not too many really people know who I am, bro.
Nah. I mean,
I would love that.
And that's conducting yourself. So I think at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is if it's something irregular, right, about the person, then they're not a regular guy. And in that case, by definition, if a person said that to me, it's like, okay, if it's semantics, I guess I'm not.
Yeah.
But also that millionaire, being a millionaire isn't regular. As much as people want to act like it or fucking act like it online, everybody acts like they're balling. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will have stacks of money in their hand. You know, in the picture that I took of them, but be like, yo, can I pay you on Wednesday for the photo shoot? You feel what I'm saying?
Right,
so a lot of people appear to, you know what I'm saying? They mix it look like everybody is out here balling, but that's not true. And maybe that's why people consider it. So I think the dude that said that to you, he shouldn't take offense. You know what I mean? He shouldn't take offense at all to that.
And honestly, like just to end it off, like to put a little icing on the cake, like honestly, on the flip side to that, like, cause I know dudes, right, from my homies and guys that I've been around, where like they thing ain't money. They thing ain't that. And they, guess what? If you want to call them a regular guy, so be it. If a nigga happy, and a nigga think like he doing what makes him happy because he's in charge of his life, he's in control. And if, you know, it don't require all this money, all this fame, all this glamour and glitz shit, and guess what? It's working for him. He's found people who living on the same type page and all that shit. What the fuck is the problem? What's the issue when motherfuckers is happy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think
what's a regular guy?
I think what a woman thinks when she says a regular guy, like what your friend said, I just want a regular guy. Fame, money, think excess. Excess. makes the road bumpier a lot of the times. It's not saying every nigga with bread gonna cheat or every nigga that with fame is, but they don't want a dude with so many options. That dude that's like quietly sitting on a billy really can order whatever type chicks or whatever he want. Like you could get away with a lot of shit. You could do a lot of shit. And it's the same for a person that's on a certain status. So I think she just wants her life grounded somewhat where it's like, I don't want to struggle. I want shit to be cool, but I don't want a nigga to be able to
I
just
want the extra shit.
Yeah, I don't want a nigga to, we get in an argument and break up. He like, you know what, I'm going to fucking wherever for the weekend, and he hopping on a helicopter or something like that, and he out. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that, that type of situation. I think that's what they mean by that. I wanted to ask y'all something. What was the funniest thing that you ever saw happen that wasn't supposed to be funny or ain't funny? It's funny, but it shouldn't be.
My mom, y'all all know I grew up on this block right here next to the studio. So when we was
you told us that.
I did?
Yeah, you told us that a couple times.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I told you this story.
No, I don't know what your story is.
That's why I'm like, damn, you guys are fast.
Yeah, it's like, how will we know the rest of the story?
That's why I'm like,
not the story.
No. You remember Porter Rich was saying he foresees everything.
Right.
So about he could see the future. That's why he wear those shades to stop the future from coming into his eyes.
I got nervous. Yeah. Listen. Yeah. So, we had a basement, and my mom had this weird time in her life where she would fall all the time, right? Like constantly falling. So there's one day, Lord forgive me, Mom. I'm sorry I'm telling this story, but I have to. Our basement steps were in the kitchen. So I'm in the kitchen or whatever, or maybe I was in a dining room, I don't know. But all I hear is boom, 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 like really hard.
Like she hit all of them shit.
She hit everyone. So, my mom's 5, you got to think about it. My mom's 5'7", she's slim, but she's thick. She got little hips or whatever.
The kingdom.
So I come down and I see my mom. I run down there and I see my mom. First I get emotional because I'm like, oh my God, my mom's hurt. Like, But then I start busting out laughing because she's just laid out on the ground. Like,
so she looked like the Life Alert commercial.
Yes.
Remember with the lady?
Listen, Wally is not going to help you if you fall around her. That's not the first thing she does. She laughed.
I laughed.
Listen, I was with her, not to cut her off real quick, but I was with her just recently, a couple months ago, and some white ladies walked in the ice in front of us and bust their ass, and Wally couldn't stop laughing. Like, legit. I was like, yo, it's chill.
I was like, do you need help?
Yo, crazy.
Meanwhile, they slipping, falling over and over again and shit.
Seriously,
how you do that to Big Wally though?
I know, and I laughed, but then I made sure it wasn't funny, but it was funny though because she busted her ass down them steps, and them shits was hard. Like, she was okay. I mean, she's good now, but like back then, I was just like, oh my God, my mom.
And what was she doing though down there? Like,
she was like,
there,
yeah,
and
like,
she was.
She wasn't even laughing. Like my mom's a tough cookie, so my mom
terrible.
don't really be crying like that. So it's not like she showed any emotion of like she was gonna get emotional, but she looked a little like she wanted to cry, and I was just like, damn, like this might have not been the time to be laughing.
So what's crazy about this is this just popped up something in my head. That's actually one of the social things that I dread too.
What?
Is seeing somebody embarrassed. Like a person doing something like modeling or doing something and they slip and fall.
My God.
Because I can't help but like instantly feel whatever the fuck they feel. I can almost trip and I'll be embarrassed as hell.
For real.
And I got big ass feet, so it happens to, I think, niggas with like big feet a lot where you just stumble out of nowhere and now you done been trying to walk smooth. Next thing you know, you hit that little stumble, dog.
You know what's crazy about this topic? And is that it's really no limits to that shit when like really like laughing, right? Mm-hmm. Because, and I get it, it is certain shit that we not supposed to laugh at, right? Mm-hmm. But think about comedians, like they talk about crazy shit, some crazy shit, you know what I mean? And they in a lot of their shit, and it brings me back. And the reason why I say that it brings me back to my story. My story in the one situation I could think about the most is being locked up. I remember being locked up. I remember being in a program where I remember being like the they called it like an expediter. I was like an expediter or like a hall, almost like a safety.
For jail?
For jail. You get like a little position. I was in like an assessment center on my way to like the halfway house.
Okay.
And I had like a little position where we had to like monitor like in front of like a certain room. You know what I'm saying? And it was a dude in a wheelchair, and we was all inmates. And the dude next to me was from somewhere up North Jersey with dreads and shit. And we all in the same room. We all like in the same room. Me, the dude with the dreads, and the dude in the wheelchair. You know what I mean? We all like in the same joint. And the dude in the wheelchair used to always talk shit though. He used to always be riding around, and he used to be like, yo, like he was like a cop. Like he was a better hall monitor than niggas because he had the wheelchair. He'd roll up on niggas.
Come on, man.
No, listen, I'm telling you, this is the story where I felt like I wasn't supposed to laugh. Listen what happened. The dude was like, kind of like what people would consider like almost like a snitch. Like, you know what I mean? We all liked it to get jobs because you'll have a little perk with your jobs and shit like that. But niggas wasn't really tripping when niggas is walking by doing whatever the fuck they doing. My man was on his shit and he was in a chair doing it. You know what I mean? So they used to call him the paddy wagon.
Y'all dead wrong for that.
Listen,
Dead wrong.
Yo,
I can't even laugh at that.
Listen, I don't want to laugh at it, but we talking about truth. Listen, God could strike me when we leave this show and be outside the parking lot. Me and my man was in a joint, and my man with the dreads, they was so mad at Bull from like rolling up bullshit and just harassing niggas that my man decided that when he rolled past us, my man stuck his foot out.
Come on.
Listen, he only stuck his foot out thinking like the nigga would like probably like roll over his foot, I guess, or was it gonna be like a bad it wasn't gonna be like a bad fall. Yo, listen, when I tell you that this nigga went flying out the chair, the whole chair went flying.
Yo, that's fucked up.
I'm like, yo, this nigga going. I'm sitting there like this. No bullshit. This is how you know it's a real. Listen, it's real story.
We need a cartoon of this.
For my Jersey niggas, I'm talking about Tabot Hall. Y'all know Tabot Hall is the other assessment center from Bo Robinson. If you've been through the penitentiary, state prison, and jail shit in New Jersey, Tabot Hall is the assessment center before you go to the halfway houses. It's the one up North Jersey. I'm telling you. I was in this motherfucking position. This shit happened right in front of like one of the main staff offices. That's what was crazy, that I knew he was caught red-handed. I'm like, yo, they sending this nigga back to prison. They sending this nigga back to prison ASAP. I'm looking at him like, yo, you're going back to prison. Cause of how it looked it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? The staff don't really know what we know.
What happened with Bull though when he landed? Like, what was his situation? Cause his situation is even more crazy because he's not like Big Wally could get up.
Yeah.
Yo,
his situation.
Bull was like, Bull hit the ground and Bull was like, oh, no, the fuck you did. He was like, oh, hell, no, the fuck you did. You know, because he was a regular nigga.
Yeah.
So he
Y'all
was
fucked up.
He said, nigga, I'm about to kick up.
He was a,
not kick up, but you know.
He was a regular OG. Listen, don't get it fucked up. He was a regular OG old head that just, unfortunately, I don't know what, you know, he was in that situation. You know what I mean? But the nigga was really like, I'm just calling it a spade. The nigga really was like the program, like police. Heavy. And he was, you know, you harassing your own people, your own inmates. And you know how dudes could be. Dudes could be rough. This is why the dude with the dreads stuck his whenever I think about shit like that day in the car with Wiley when she was laughing and shit like that, I was like, that's light, because it made me think of my situation, of that situation when I seen somebody get tripped in like a wheelchair, fly out of it, and I couldn't help but fucking die laughing. I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave my position because you done blew this position the fuck up. It's hot here. Like everybody's about to go to jail who even is here. Y'all know, people who know what I'm talking about, they know you get sent back to prison for anything at Tabot Hall, especially at Tabot Hall. Bo Robinson different. But listen, man, funniest shit I ever laughed at. And it'd be a lot of situations like that. Shout out to my coworker, shout out to my homie Neen. That's like my family. But we talk about that at work all the time. Like, you know, it'd be some shit that's just, you gotta laugh away the pain. Some people cry. Some people, listen, I cry about a lot of shit. Some shit I gotta sit back and laugh at. Maybe I might cry first.
Well,
You know what I mean? Not so
was
sensitive.
hot. Now it's not.
Remember back in the day, the guys used to do this to their jeans? They used to tie their jeans at the bottom, wrap it, and like tuck it. Remember?
You mean
that
like
was the thing.
elastic?
No, they didn't use elastic. What they would do is they were I don't know why guys did this. Who did this a lot from around this area was Ed, Tattoo Ed. He used to do it all the time.
Damn, she just putting niggas on blast.
I'm sorry, but you was one of them. And my stepbrother, too. I just thought that was like the corniest thing. I'm sorry.
And what was that?
They used to basically make the bottom of their jeans tighter, but the whole rest of the jean was baggy.
So that was before elastic or after elastic was they doing that?
It was no elastic.
Yeah.
It was regular jeans. They was just tying it at the bottom, like they'll wrap it and roll it.
Cause that actually could be my what's hot.
Oh, that yours was mine?
No.
That is wild, my nigga.
No, listen.
That's wild.
Listen, the people gonna call it what it is. I'm serious. Elastic was fire back in the day. People, you could take your pants just to the cleaners and say, yo, I want elastic in the bottom. Levi's, when Levi's was the shit, was crazy, when we was rocking Levi's all crazy, throwing elastic in your shit, some elastic in the bottom, was crazy.
Hold on, what the fuck that
What do you
did?
mean?
Elastic is like the stretchy shit.
No, I know what it is. What purpose is it
what
serving?
did it do?
It did the same thing. It gave it was like a cuff to like the jean. It was like tighten it up.
Oh,
and
they
make,
used to put. I didn't even know that. Like,
it would make the jean like almost like a jogger, a back in the day jogger, but see, y'all see, come on, y'all see, Wally, I'm surprised you a fashionista.
No,
come on,
that was a hood thing. That wasn't an international thing.
It might have been a hood thing, but I bet you rapper Jay-Z rapped about that. If I'm not mistaken,
but he didn't do it.
And he might have was talking about iceberg or something when he said some iceberg sweats IG on the elastic, some shit like that. But
That's different.
No, but
Okay.
I'm just telling you, if you I bet you when people tap into this, bro, throwing elastic in some of your jeans back in the day was the shit. I know for a fact around here, Camden niggas, and I don't know about Philly, but throwing elastic in some of your jeans back in the day, the same shit Wally's saying, but it was just hers is different. They did it with a string, I guess.
I think mine, if I do fashion too, is shoulder pads for niggas' clothes. That shit was hot. Remember when niggas, like, if you look back, all them niggas like a MC Hammer or some shit.
Yeah, that was
like
a thing.
niggas wanted their shits to be like
Their
crazy.
blazers, their jackets, everything.
The shoulder pad game was goofy. I'm talking about like, what's the niggas that was fake singers and shit? Milli Vanilli and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Guy.
Those was the type of niggas that all had the like.
Yep.
If you look at old like sports players Jones, as if niggas' shoulders wasn't wide enough.
They added that. Shoulder pads was like a thing.
Yeah.
I miss
Major.
Color Me Bads too.
Yo, that don't Color Me Bad.
I miss Color Me Bads.
They had the
Color
Jones.
Me Bads.
You don't know Color Me Bad?
No.
Color Me Bad is a singing group.
I done fucked him up because he talk about the group. I'm not, even though they was, of course they was hot. Now they not. It's an old group.
Nah, but then they had a pads. Then they had a shoulder
Oh,
pad.
they definitely probably wore the shoulder
Wait,
pads.
what song did they sing?
I Want to Sex You Up.
Yup.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Color Me Bad. Okay.
Hold on. So what's Color Me Bad? Tell
I
us.
was talking about the socks. The back in the day tube socks, they used to come in all the colors. We used to rock them, when you was young. You used to rock them big.
Oh, with the stripes?
Red stripes.
Chill, my
yellow
dad
stripes,
used to wear those.
Yo.
Blue stripes, green stripes. We called them Color Me Bad.
See, I never knew that. And when I look at old pictures of myself when I was like a toddler, I always had them Jones on.
Yeah, and we called them Color Me Bads because Color Me Bad was on fire. Everybody knew who Color Me Bad was then.
Yeah, well, Color Me Bad boy hated on me in a writing session before, the curly head nigga. Yeah, so one time, I'm out in LA, and the dude in Color Me Bad that had like a curly top haircut or whatever like that, he's bald now. We was in a writing session, shout out to Frankie Storm, when I was writing under Frankie Storm's Sony ATV, and we was working on a record, and I was the regular guy. In the room. Everybody else was like notable writers, but I would write with Frankie all the time. I was signed to her. So when we was writing on this song, anything that I would say, he would nix. So it got to the point where Frankie's like, she kind of peeped it and was like, yo, go in the bathroom and just send me voice notes right from there. So if I would send her something and she would do what I said in there, he like, yeah, it's fire. I love it. But if I was in the room,
he hated it.
He hated it. Because he was trying, niggas be trying to block you, try to get you off of writing credits and shit like that on songs. Yeah, on songs. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that was the bull. The bull was from Color Me Bad, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people that you don't see in the business anymore, you know, maybe they're too old to be on the front line as a singer and stuff like that. They find different ways in the industry. Some of them are writing some of your favorite songs and all this stuff.
Busta Rhymes is a big one.
You'll think, oh, a nigga fell off. Nah. That nigga getting a check every day,
Mr.
you know, constantly writing in the background. But fuck that dude. And we about to be out of here, but I don't even know what his name is. But you was a hating ass nigga. Fuck you, my nigga. For myself,
we bringing Color Me Bads back this summer.
Let's get this shit. Bring him on the show and shit. You know, we could bring him on here and I could talk shit to him.
Wally, we bringing him back. If I got Wally with me, we good.
And for Porter Rich, the Thurman Street Pumper, we out of yo. We out of here, yo.
What,
Peace.
nigga? He said we out of yo.